so I'm here to do the 10 facts about my pregnancy tag or challenge. My friend here on YouTube actually tagged me like over a week ago, so tisk tisk bad me. I'm like such a procrastinator and I'm just now getting around to filming it. So thank you, Christy, so much for tagging me. Oh, and I'll put her link down below in the description box if you guys are interested in checking her channel out. And she just had a baby Manny, and he's so cute. He has the chubbiest cheeks. So anyway, if you guys are interested in going to her channel, feel free to check it out in the description box. Okay, so since I have like the worst memory in the world, I wrote the facts down, so I'm going to be reading off of this little paper, so sorry about that. So number one, I gave birth exactly 1 month before my due date. My due date was April 27th, and I went into labor March 31st, and it was actually Easter Sunday that day, so that was pretty memorable. He was an Easter baby. Number two, when Liam was born, because he was born so early, he actually hadn't really developed his sucking reflex, so he had the hardest time breastfeeding and latching on. So what we had to do was we had to finger feed him, and if you guys don't know what that is, you guys can look it up. But basically what it is you put your breast milk inside of this small syringe with a small tube attached to it, and you stick that little tube and your finger inside of the baby's mouth so he can practice sucking. And so he sucks on your finger and sucks on the little tube and gets formula or milk out that way. So yeah, that's how Liam was fed his first week of life. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but I think that was pretty interesting. Number three, when my water broke, it was around 4 o'clock in the morning, and Kelvin, the first thing that he asked me was if I had peed myself. I know, I was kind of like, what? I was actually really mad at the moment, but now looking back, it's funny. I can't believe he asked me that. Number four, by the time I had like my epidural all situated and I was numb, I was 9 centimeters dilated, so yep, I was ready to go. Like, they literally put my epidural in and then I started pushing because, yeah, that's how last minute it was. Number five, I was fortunate and lucky enough not to have any morning sickness. I did get like kind of nauseated by some smells, but I didn't throw up or anything like that. It was such a blessing and I'm so lucky. Number six, my starting weight was actually 118 pounds, and by the time I got to the hospital and they weighed me the day of my delivery, I was 145 pounds. So I think I gained a total of almost 30 pounds. It was like 27 pounds, but almost 30 pounds. So yeah, that's the biggest I have ever been. Number seven, it took me like 20 minutes. It took me like 20 minutes to push Liam out. I remember like looking at the clock and it being, well, actually I remember everything. I remember that they put the epidural in and they had finished with the epidural around like 11:50ish, and I started pushing at 12 and Liam was born at 12:20. So it all happened like boom, 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 super fast. I don't know if you guys know, the only two people that I had in there in my delivery was my mom and Calvin. And my mom had actually never been in a live birth because all of her kids were C-section babies, so she was like so shocked during the whole thing. And I think at one point I told Calvin to shut up and go to the corner of the room. So yeah, my delivery was kind of very, well, I think everybody's delivery is kind of dramatic at some point or another. Anyways, bottom line, it took me 20 minutes to push, but before that, when I was having the contractions, I was very cranky. Number eight, I was actually kind of depressed during my pregnancy because, well, I mean, being pregnant as a teen isn't exactly the dream. So I was very sad, and I actually have no pictures. Well, I do have a couple of pictures, but for the most part I don't have like any pictures of me being pregnant, and the ones that do exist is because my mom and Calvin would sneak pictures of me here and there. So yeah, that's one of my biggest, like, one of the biggest things that I regret, not taking any pictures during my pregnancy. So if you're pregnant, document it and take like millions and millions of pictures. Number 9, I actually didn't expect any baby showers, and I ended up having 3 baby showers. I think Calvin's family threw us one, and my best friend threw me one, and they threw one for Calvin at his work. It was like a man shower. So yeah, I ended up getting a lot more than I expected, definitely. I was super blessed, and for that I am extremely grateful, because I don't know how I would have done it without like all the help that I got. Anyway, last but not least, I learned that it's possible to fall in love with somebody that you just met, because I fell in love with Liam. He just stole my heart. I know it sounds cheesy, but honestly, like, I mean, I love Calvin, but when they put Liam in my arms, I thought it was just a different kind of love, and it was very overwhelming, and it was just a very emotional but beautiful moment. And you know, it was just, I was trying to get emotional, and it happened a year and a half ago. It was just a beautiful experience, and if you're pregnant, enjoy it to the max. I know that towards the end in your last trimester you start to feel like a freaking huge whale and you just want it to be over, but just enjoy it as much as you can, because you're only pregnant for 9 months, 8 months in my case. But yeah, just enjoy your pregnancy as much as you can. It's such a beautiful experience to feel him move and kick and have hiccups, because Liam had like a bunch of hiccups during his stay in my womb. But anyway, this was a really fun tag. Thank you so much for tagging me, Christy. Yeah, I actually hadn't thought about my pregnancy in a while, so it was nice to look back and think about how things were back then. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Oh, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at SharonLovesLiam. And yeah, that is all I have to say. Bye guys!